Good evening, everybody. We got here another 1v1, this time on Megarandom. We do have in the blue playing as the Ethiopians, Yo, and then his enemy, and typically his biggest teammate, is Lix, playing as the Italians in the red. Taking a quick look at the map, we do see a ton of stone around the starting town centers, and lots of deer to begin with, or zebra in this case. Of course, players will have to exit from their main base in order to collect wood, as it is just straggler trees in the main area, but there are pockets of wood elsewhere throughout the desert. Taking a quick look at the players, of course, Lix, playing as the Italians, he has such a strong archer build, and I would hope to see some archers coming through with the Italians, obviously playing up against the Ethiopians, very versatile civilization, but a very strong archer build for the Ethiopians with those extra fast shooting arrows. And already the players are starting to set up their wood lines outside of their TC. This map being very open, and with all of the stone piles, wouldn't be too surprised to see some castles getting dropped later on in the game. Ow. Of course, both these players being teammates typically, they do train up against each other and they do train with each other, being well known for their 2v2 play. They are two probably of the strongest teams in the world. If you are ranking 2v2 teams, these guys are always on the top of the list. And as we fast forward through the next age, they are very close. Villagers count, both looking to push in zebra where possible, and already running out, so really pushing in their zebra quickly, try and get as much as possible and get up to that fast feudal time. Both players have pushed in all their zebra. Both players click up so close in their click ups, and I will slow it down now as we get into the initial militia being created for both players. So it looks like a little bit of a drush from either player off of a pretty quick 21 pop up. They did not have these militia when they clicked up. Both players are scouting around the base of the enemy, trying to get a little bit of sight on what's going on. There's no villagers underneath the town center right now for Yo, so no way for him to be picking off that scout. Ow. But both players will see that there is a barracks for the enemy, and they will be looking for the drush. Both players playing very similarly right now. The drushes do look like they will just avoid each other, but let's see who can get some damage done. This game so far so close, the two of them being so similar in their builds. Of course, both players click up, get up at pretty much the same time, both going for man at arms. However, Lix choosing to get the double bit axe upgrade as soon as possible, so that will give him just a slight advantage with his wood chopping economy, but it is resources that are not spent elsewhere. And the militia are in on both sides. Man-at-arms, will they take out a villager here? It looks like at least one will go down, if not more, as Yo having to run away with his entire wood economy right here. Unable to do quite as much damage as Lix is doing in his home base. And the scout coming forward will look to block off this villager as much as possible. Look to get a pick off, and he does. He does pick that villager off. Will he get a third? No. That town center is just a bit too risky, and he does not lose the scout. But a ton of damage getting done in Yo's economy. Lix has seen delays, but nothing as major as the woodline disruption that he has been able to cause. Even attacking the archer right now. Both of these players really going at it. We do see right now a military advantage because this archery range was delayed so much and actually goes down at this point in time. Yo does have the military advantage. With 2 archers already out, they will be able to pick off these man-at-arms. This wood line is walled in, but let's see how safe it is. As Yo looking to break in, but it will be walled off. Those berries will be protected for now. So no real worries for now in Lix's base, as the archer has come forward and will defend pretty well. Archers at this level obviously being able to engage against much higher levels of man-at-arms, just because with the range they're able to stand back and get some pickoffs. Of course, with this scout in with almost full HP, Scout is able to catch up to the archer and take him out. Both of these players losing quite... And oh my goodness, there's a hole in the wall. Lix gets all the damage in his economy. He took him a long time to notice this. And that man-at-arms is going to do so much damage as the archer is behind. Scout is on its way in. Let's see if he can wall this off or if he just has to run. The man-at-arms again getting such good value. Both of these drushes have been well worth it, as there are major fallbacks in the economies. Right now, Yo having a 3 villager lead. That is massive. 2 villagers and a bit, of course. And sending forward more archers. Those archers, of course, will get pushed back by skirmishers, but able to engage against the spearmen very, very well. Such an exciting game so far. Always a hole in the wall, especially something like that. It was so close. Lix probably didn't even notice it until it was too late. He has moved over to this wood line in the back, so he is a little bit safe there. But it is still major aggression on this very, very open map. Still just 1 archery range for Mr. Yo, and then Lix going up with his second with his blacksmith, not yet on his second archery range. And blacksmith has already been placed by Yo. Both players getting fletching at the same time. These players so similar to one another in the way that they play, just because they've trained together for so long. Look how close this fletching upgrade is. So back and forth. It's anyone's game, even with the villager lead that Yo has. Now forcing a tower from Lix, and temporarily denied too. This tower is not ideal at all. Not a good situation to be in, to be placing that tower. The skirmishers will be able to take out the archers. Some good micro. Yo able to deny the tower, able to take out the skirmishers, the spearmen, and Yo now with a lead. But at the same time, Lix is going forward with archers. Yo sending some archers back to protect his economy. He knows something is up. And a second archery range going up for Lix, as the first one is still the only one for Yo. So Lix trying to push his military advantage as much as possible. Microing 1 archer versus 3. And of course the 3 will almost always beat the 1. Another archer goes down for Lix. Villagers getting attacked now. Villagers just kind of running around trying to avoid that arrow fire. Of course, before ballistics coming in, not too much they can do. But lots of damage being done now in Lix's economy. This villager just staying alive. Will he make it back to the town center? He does. And another archer will go down. Such good damage from Mr. Yo in the back of Lix's base. Able to cause massive delays for the economy. Sure, he hasn't lost many more villagers, but the idle time has been massive. Look at all these idols just standing around. Had to force up that tower. But look at this. Lix is in the wood line once again. Villagers going down for Mr. Yo, and now Lix with a villager lead just because of his attack of that economy. Both armies are engaging. Lix will have to turn back. He cannot engage against 6 different archers at this point in time, but well worth it taking out those villagers. But Mr. Yo, on his way, almost halfway up to the Castle Age, and Lix still a little ways away, still needs 300 food in order to click up. And he doesn't have stone, he doesn't have the option to sell, and it looks like Yo will be switching into knights once the next age comes. He's already getting the first armor upgrade. And there's not too much that Lix has to defend against knights. This tower will be nice in the back of his woodline. This woodline wide open. It's not yet found by Mr. Yo. If we take a look at the Fog of War, he has not seen that yet. But now, both players on the way up to the next age. We do see a couple of villager lead for Lix, and that is just because he was slower up to the next age. He obviously got a couple more villagers out before. And he will be looking to get some stone. Likely we'll see another town center. And another villager goes down, but is it worth it to lose this whole army? Might be, with all the idle time that he has forced from these villagers. Look at this. Every second these villagers not collecting resources, wasting time, and that is nice to see. Making sure that Yo unable to protect his advantage for the time being, forcing this army of archers in the back of his base, but at the same time 2 knights going across, a siege workshop already going up, and another tower forced to be placed by Lix. This tower will make it up before the knights get in, and that will provide some protection. But of course, with this siege workshop right on his face, it will be very difficult for him to engage. Mr. Yo pushing his advantage as much as possible. A battering ram coming off right off the bat. He knows there's no melee attack that Lix has to combat him. And really, even with the tower, the knights, they do have +1 defense. They are not scared to go underneath the fire, and they are completely destroying the economy of Lix right now. More knights streaming in. The battering ram going directly for the blacksmith. Interesting choice there. And a mangonel coming forward now. Crossbow coming in for Lix, but is it too late for him to do anything? It looks like it might be. This battering ram taking up so much damage from the archer fire. Obviously, that is what the battering rams are best at. And this woodline still wide open. Will he get in with these knights? No. Lix walls it off in time. And this tower able to protect his wood economy for now. As more villagers go down for Lix, he still has a 2 villager lead, but that is dropping quickly with these knights and mangonels attacking. We see a monastery already coming forward in response for Yo, and no monastery would... a monastery for Lix to defend against the knights, but this monastery for Yo will just convert them right back. Tons of idle time, as Lix is now 2 villagers behind. But look at the damage he's able to do once again. More crossbows sitting in the back of this woodline, able to take out villagers left, right, and center. Will he get a 3rd villager? No, he does not. And these knights will be able to clean out these archers, but he's just going for the villagers for now. And these villagers on the woodline for Lix will now go down. Did he over chop? He did. These knights just waited for their time. And these archers getting as much value by picking off more villagers. And now we do see the monk coming forward. They will get 1 conversion, but look at the result. These knights will definitely get the kills. And with the archers helping out, they will be able to push back. As another knight coming forward will take out the mangonel, but the monk is sitting right behind, ready to engage. And we take a quick look at the villager counts, 37 to 35, but there are 7 idle villagers for Lix, and how long have they been idle? All sitting inside this tower for so long, and what sort of damage are they doing? Not very much at all. because this mangonel is able to engage easily. Crossbows going down, knights going down, conversions coming in now. This mangonel needs to go down, but the monk needs to be taken out first. The monk goes down, but the entire army of Licks goes down alongside it. Is it worth it? Just one military left for Licks, and that is just one monk against the 12 military now of Yo. As the town center is getting targeted, there are 10 villagers sitting inside that town center now going out to build a mining camp, and these monks will get conversions if the knights do not run away. Knights smartly able to run away and get a little bit of safety, as now light cavalry running in. And will this mangonel go down? It finally goes down. That will save temporarily the town center. Monk goes down for Licks. These light cavalry, such a good addition, as they are able to resist the conversions, and just like that, Licks has seen enough. Overall, you know, the archers in the woodline, great engagements for Licks, but he just never had an answer for those knights. Just a little bit too slow with the monastery, no pikemen or anything to engage, and he did not have enough crossbow in a single ball to engage against those knights. Perfect play, fantastic game on a very unique map, a very open map that definitely allowed for quite a bit of engagement.